Hello, I'm Josh. This is Josh Build Stuff. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Figs with Friends. This week, a very special guest and subject matter expert. It's Josh from Josh Build Stuff. Josh, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good. And to what species and or class do we have the pleasure of speaking this evening? Well, I'm going to go with my first character's class and species. It was a Tiefling Warlock named Moira. Moira? Wait, were you a fan of the Hook movie as a kid? I was a big fan of Peter Pan. That's a magical sounding name, though. Yeah, it is a magical sounding name. It works. What species and class would you be? How about Atlanta Falcon? It's an NFL franchise. A Draugr Overlord. It's a Skyrim enemy? An Orc. Okay, but I only speak Spanish. Okay, see? A human sorceress of Sephora. Sephora? The campaign will be set in Boca Raton. Ugh. You're very much into D&D, or were. Yeah, I dabbled. Today we're relying on you as the expert on the subject matter. And that is going to come with the asterisk. That's okay. Of all the rules lawyer and actually's guys in the comments. If we make fun of D&D here, I'm going to throw my own asterisk out there. If we make fun of D&D, I am the one who will look bad. I will take full responsibility. My goal is never to offend. It's just a happy byproduct of what I usually do here. All engagement is good engagement. The more we say wrong, the more comments we get. In the world of D&D, you just kind of roll with it. Like, you roll a d20 with it. Even D&D makes fun of itself. Do they? Some players with good sense of humor do, at least. The best parties have good senses of humor. Is that what we call them? Parties? Groups? Parties. I mean, I was never invited to parties when I was a kid, but I certainly wasn't invited to parties as a kid. Yeah. I don't know if that's sad or happy. What tavern are we in? You have to name the tavern. I'm not the dungeon master here. I've never been dominant in any aspect of my life. I'm definitely not the master of anything. I wasn't allowed to participate in anything fantasy related because it had satanic dark connotations. They're necromancers, Mom. Bad. They're not demons. It's not biblical. Let me pay a lick, Mom. Do you own the big D&D, the Red Dragon? Not yet. I will. You just bought a bunch of D&D books. Yeah, I did. There's a new player's handbook. And I went ahead, I've never owned a monster manual before, so I went ahead and picked up the monster manual as well. We're gonna find you a party. Be careful what you wish for from the strangers on the internet. You got the books, you're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Roll for initiative. What? You said you'll give it a shot. Roll for initiative. 2. You're caught off guard. What's your character's perception? Which ability is that? Wisdom. 3. Not good. You don't notice a rustle in the nearby thicket and the barely perceptible creak of a bending bow as an arrow is knocked or a bowstring pulled tight. Oh no. Roll for dexterity to dodge. 1. The arrow is loosed. It finds its mark. Shot through the heart. And you're to blame. There's nowhere to run. No one can save me. The damage is done. I'm sorry, Bar Jovi. Your campaign is ended. In any case, you're probably going to buy the big D&D set. Yes. I want it more after this CMF series. How do you think LEGO fans would react if we get a dedicated D&D theme before the true resurrection of Castle or another deep-rooted fantasy theme like Lord of the Rings? I think the Castle Bros would be unhappy, yeah. But if they continue to be castles and dungeons, I still think they'd buy them anyway. But it's not a theme. It's not the castle theme, Josh. It's not the castle theme. No. Where's our Black Falcons? Right. It has gone mainstream. Critical Role. D20. You've got all of these awesome shows. All web series shows. Both shows. I don't know if this has enough steam in the mainstream to keep going. I don't think they're gonna make another series. I think this is what we're getting. It's really neat to get the molds that we did, but I'm not like, well, they need to make another one with a Tabasky and a Yanti and like, I was gonna say, did they hit they hit the big ones? Yeah, but the fact that we got a Mind Flayer, honestly, and a Tiefling, I'm happy. I'm good. We're excited about these CMFs, and yet their star rating on LEGO's website, which we all know holds a lot of weight, is 2.5 out of 5. Very low rated. Can you imagine why? Is this where we get into bags and boxes? This is where we get into gambling. Are you a gambling man or a gambling tiefling warlock? Always. All the bad reviews are people that bought online. They say, I got 2 boxes, then I just got 6 of the same figure over, like they did bad. But you got lucky. You bought 2 boxes. I got 2 boxes. and I got the complete set. You got the full set. I knew going into it that it could be just the same ones, because that has happened to me before, but that is the risk I take. You just sound like a gambler that got lucky. Like I'm the gambler that got lucky. Right, you'd have a different opinion if you were a gambler that didn't get as lucky. And it's disappointing. And I knew it could happen, and so I go, I'm gonna rely on stores. And I did exactly that. And well, I went to about 4 or 5 Walmarts local to me. I found them in one Walmart that had glass as far as the eyes can see. I couldn't touch a Lego set if I wanted to. And I had to push the little button that called for an associate. He opened the case and I went, hey, I gotta scan these for a few minutes because I've just relinquished all dignity at this point. I got all the figures I wanted. Easier than it's ever been for any CMF series. I was in and out of Walmart, even having to wait for an associate. And so I'm happy for me and unhappy for everyone else. Let's talk figure to figure. Let's go good guys and then bad guys. Yeah, good luck. As if there can ever be truly a good and evil character in any D&D campaign. Lego literally put red or, what was it, blue or green labels behind the characters to let you. They did. Like there's a big I just now noticed drop shadow behind him. The dwarf doesn't really speak dwarf to me, but maybe that's just because we have Lord of the Rings so recently. I don't speak dwarf. Dwarvish. Dwarves are fun. Constitution, they can't be poisoned. Good stuff. What character sheets? You have like a cheat sheet? A character sheet? Nope. I just know that. I played with... Well, if you need to roll for initiative at any time... I played with several dwarves in my campaigns. Barbarians are just people who chop things up, and dwarves are short. Barbarians are your tanks. Barbarians, they hit things, and they're good at it. They sound useful, I guess. They are very useful. What's more exciting is the Gith. In my research, it's one of the few original to D&D species races. Oh, yeah. It's not a wizard, it's not a warlock, it is just a... Wait. No, he is a warlock. You went to class. Well, sorry. Rules lawyered. Boom. But the Gith are just humanoids that were enslaved by Mind Flayers. Basically, as far as I can tell. They split into 2 subclasses, and they just started fighting each other. They also have psionic powers. Giths are brand new information to me. Call me a fake fan. You're a fake fan. Well, at least I'm not a real fan. The eyeball is interesting. I think he might be in a pact with the old one, or like that's his probably gift, or it's definitely a spell focus for sure. Do you think if this eye gets irritated, it would we'd call it a staph infection? No, I'd probably call it conjunctivitis because it's on a staph infection. More like a curse. You ever had a curse put on you? Yes, I've had conjunctivitis. I have. But it was viral conjunctivitis. Like, it was because I was sick with other things. I had an eyeball appear in my hand at random times. You're talking about a D&D campaign. I'm talking about when I had a virus and it gave me pink eye for several months. A very exciting character is up next. It's a Tiefling Sorcerer, which sounds like what you said you were, but I guess a Sorcerer and a Warlock are different things. Actually, a Sorcerer and a Warlock are the most similar in kind of spell slots and how they use them. It's just where they get their powers are different. Anyway, I'm not going to ask follow-up questions. Tieflings, they're humans mixed with something else I have in my notes, or they have human ancestors who made infernal bargains with devils. What kind of tiefling were you? Did you mix with something else? It was my first character, so I don't think I really wrote my classic 4-page backstory. It's a good way to avoid the question. So tieflings are just orange characters with horns. They can be orange. They can also be blue, as in Jester from Critical Role, as we all know. I gotta stop rolling my eyes. You can be any color you want. It's just red is the classic color. Sure. Tieflings also have natural charisma, so they can bend others to their will. Very useful. That's appealing. That's why Tiefling Warlocks and Sorcerers were like a classic build, almost to a nauseating degree. Because you use charisma as for lunch. What you rolled with to cast spells. What class has the lowest charisma, and which YouTuber in the LEGO space would you say fits into that category? Barbarian would probably have the lowest charisma. And which YouTuber in the LEGO space would best fit into that category? I can't say his name. Okay, it's a he. Probably Brooks. No, you can't say it. Leave it implied. You asked the question. Don't ask questions you don't want to answer. Creative editing. Anyway, this tiefling also has a new baby dragon mold. That could be a new Norbert from Harry Potter. Honestly, I want a small army build this dragon. Not to dwell on this figure, but it looks like she is casting a spell. Do you think that's magic missile? No, wizards cast Magic Missile. Magic Missile is actually a cantrip that cannot be learned by tieflings. Well, I had a gotcha question that, do you think it's a bit insensitive that LEGO would include a missile amid the ongoing Ukraine and Palestine conflicts? But I guess we'll skip that gotcha. Let's talk about someone more exciting. What we have said is most likely the most popular figure in this series, the Dragonborn Paladin. Yeah. Why are they called Dragonborn? Is this going to be a gotcha question? Is it because they're dragon? They look like dragons. That's the bit. It's because they look like dragons. Actually, in my research, there are different types of Dragonborn. Either they're typical dragons that are just hatched from eggs, or Dragonborn of Bahamut, who weren't born naturally. They were instead creatures reborn from good aligned, non-draconic humans who they show their devotion to Bahamut and willingly took on draconic traits in place of their original biology. Which do you think this Dragonborn was? He definitely serves Bahamut. His shield, right? On his shield is yeah, Bahamut dragon. Dude, yeah. He was a metallic dragon though. I don't know, you tell me. From a figure perspective, he's got like arm printing and leg printing and a new armor breastplate, which is also printed, a new head mold. Well, I guess the head mold was used in the big D&D set, but it's a new color. I think it's pearl gold, so he's a metallic dragon. He's got so metallic dragons are classically good. Well, so primary colored dragons are classically bad. Do you want to talk about a less exciting character? Ouch. How about that Halfling Druid? Come on, Druid. It's just in his normal form. So druids are so useful. They're the nature people? They're the nature people that can shape-shift. They can shape-shift into literally any animal. That's useful. Yeah, very useful. So he's Beast Boy from the Teen Titans. You want to see my druid miniature? No. But you weren't a halfling at the same time. I was not a halfling. This is a halfling druid. And halflings are nothing like hobbits. No. Right? Not at all. This druid also has a bird. Do you think this is a conjured animal? You can really conjure animals. You can call animals to you. So as you do. It's the same thing. We have not yet talked about the Aarakocra. Aarakocra. I think it's either Aarakocra or Aarakocra. I tried the Coke Oreos today. Have you seen those? They're awful. I have in my notes avian humanoids, otherwise known as bird people. Bird people. Very different from Chima, or Tabaxi. Is Tabaxi a Lego theme? Tabaxi in the D&D world is a cat. It's a cat person. We could have gotten cat people in this CMF series. We could have gotten cat people. We need a series too. And then you have the Yanti, which are the serpent people. And you were a dog person. I was a dog person. I can't remember their name. Not in real life. It was a homebrew by my ex, so we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about exes Rangers. He's a ranger, right? He's got a bow and arrow. He has a bow and arrow, and as a ranger, you can have an animal companion. I was going to ask about the puppy, who can also be involved in fights. I thought LEGO was just playing with a juxtaposition because they gave a traditionally caged animal, a bird, a pet of their own. And they're like, that's ironic. But I guess it's more a ranger thing. It's more of a ranger thing. Yeah. This is a new head mold and new wings. And it reuses those legs that are weird. The werewolf legs, yeah. Objectively, rangers are cool, right? Yeah. They're very useful. Bow and arrows. Range fighters. Very good at perception and tracking. I don't think they get any spells. We got enough spell dudes in the first half of we did CMFs. Oh, we didn't get a rogue? You're making a good argument for a series 2. Or a dedicated D&D theme. Not gonna happen. So we agree that rangers are cool, Aarakocras are cool, and bards are traditionally not cool. What's your opinion on bards? They the life of the party? You need a bard in the group. You need a bard. You don't leave them at the tavern. You need a where bard they belong in the party. Good for nothing beggar troubadours. That's what we need. They can give other players like D4s at random to help them on their rolls. I could always use a D4. You can always use a D4. Here's the thing though, an elf has to be a popular species, incredibly so, not race, and yet they didn't give us an elf ranger, which is probably cliche. I don't know D&D. So cliche. They gave us, if you want to be an elf, you gotta be a bard. Here's a lute, bud. Go sing some songs. Just want to dance, Dad. Isn't that fun to be like what an immortal, sexy being, and you gotta play an instrument. His family want to be in the party. Does not approve of what he's doing. I mean, he's a very loud figure, fittingly so. He's fun. He's teal and magenta. New scarf mold. I would name a famous bard character, but you told me to stop shouting out other content creators. Yeah, not from another popular D&D what are they gonna? I'll include a link to Critical Role in the description down below. If you're watching this and you've never heard of them, you're doing it in the wrong order, man. So those were all the good guys. There were 5 bad guys included here, and apparently some of them are popular bad guys. Super popular bad guys. The first one, it's a Mind Flayer. A lot of people are excited about this. The figure itself looks very cool. Very nice. I said he was an Ood from Doctor Who. A Cthulhu-esque. Yeah, he's a squid. It's a squid head. Squid head man. He uses psionic powers. He imprisons the Geth. He's in the Underdark, of course. Classically. And it's not like flare, as in like a bright flare. Flayer. Like filleting your mind of fish, like a piece of meat. They're in Baldur's Gate a lot. Did you play Baldur's Gate? I have not. It's a lot of time. Me neither. Who has the time? Super. Yeah, I don't know. Too much of a time. I don't have time to listen to a D&D podcast. Definitely don't have time to play. I don't know what Asterion is, but is that he was the most popular guy. Do we romance him? He's very popular to be romanced. I'm not sure. No, not my type. I'm not going to ask what your type is. There's a brain dog that's included with this Mind Flayer. AKA, what are they called? Intellect Devourers. And they can take over people. So that's why they fit on other minifigure heads. That's the fun thing, yeah. It's a minifigure head compatible mold. That's the fun part. That's exciting. You'll get a lot of play features with CMFs. And yet, that I would call a play feature. I know. Speaking of pets, the next figure also has a pet or a summon or whatever they call them. It's a familiar. Strahd von Zarovich. Am I saying that correctly? Sure. He's a vampire. He's a vampire with his own book. Okay. Curse of Strahd. Kind of on the nose. A whole adventuring campaign book. So a very popular D&D bad guy, which you wouldn't know unless you looked up the names. I don't know where the names of these guys are listed. You have to go to some other fan site to read about them. Say it anywhere. Lego is appealing to the casuals as usual. I guess so. Strahd is a vampire, and he's a necromancer. Sexy vampire. And he rules over Barovia. Your words, not mine. He summoned a rat. Is it the long hair that does it for you? The pale complexion? What is your type? Edward Cullen. Hey, he's getting a set, right? Is that still rumored, or is that confirmed? He is getting a set. Oh no, it's happening. It's confirmed. It's just a matter of time. I guess Strahd can visit the Cullens. They also wasted the good sword on him. I don't know why he gets a good sword. They did waste the good sword. I don't know why he gets... He's a vampire. He's super strong spells. I don't understand. Anyway, he's got a rat. I think it's got a new coloration to the rat, at least. Yeah. It's like Halloween rat, just in time. Another villain that you said you hadn't heard of because you're a casual. The rest of us would know her as the Lady of Pain, the ruler of Sigil, which is a city at the center of the multiverse, which is deeper than I would have given D&D campaigns credit for going. I thought they were just going through dungeons and fighting dragons, but maybe that's on me. We are on different planes. She rules over the planescape. She, in her hand, is holding what could be a cubic gate, which, like you said, it can transport users to other planes. And if you could be transported to another plane, what plane would you go to? Probably pick an elemental plane. I'd pick the Concord. That's a plane I'd like to visit. Most famously, the Lady of Pain does not have stats. She's so powerful. It kind of sounds game-breaking, but she's described as being less of an entity and more of a hurricane. It's more of an enemy you just lose to as soon as you make her mad. That sounds like a fun campaign. Absolutely. She can do what some would see as evil deeds and some would see as good deeds, as long as there is a logical explanation for them. Well, we all know the best D&D campaigns are built on logic, which is basically lawful neutral. My favorite alignment is chaotic neutral, but you have to figure out what that means for you. We all have to figure out what chaotic neutral means to our own lives. Or chaotic good, you know. You be whatever kind of chaos you want. You come in like a hurricane, just like Lady of Pain. She's floating, she's got a new cape piece, new mask piece. Yeah. I appreciate the clear base that she comes with to imply that she just floats. Yeah, she's ethereal. She's too good for her own ground. She's like, I'm not gonna stand on that. She's too good for gravity, man. Yeah. Okay, next dude. I'll let you pronounce, it's Szass. I don't curse on my channel. Szass Tam? Szass Tam? Szass Tam? Is it T-A-M? It's T-A-M, yeah. So Szass Tam, he runs the local pizzeria. All right, well, old Saucy there, he's a necromancer. He's the bad dude. He's got the skeleton in him. He's a leader of the Red Wizards of Fae. Also didn't know a lot about this guy. But you know who would be really good against this guy? Chris Pine, the Dragonborn Paladin. Oh. Apparently this dude is the same thing. This dude was in the Chris Pine movie. Paladins have some pretty spicy spells against the undead. Be a good time to have that Dragonborn Paladin. I don't think there's a bad time to have that Dragonborn Paladin on your team. No. I just want that much arm and torso printing in my life in any aspect of my life. Can't wait to see when I open mine, because I haven't opened them yet. Wait, you haven't opened your figures? No, because I had too much other stuff going on. My house is a mess, Josh. My life is a mess. No, it's not a mess. It's chaotic neutral. Okay? Hey, we're getting to a very exciting character for a Harry Potter fan like yourself. It's Tasha the Witch Queen. Wait, which witch? Tasha the Witch Queen. Oh. Tasha is also known as Igwilev, who's a selfish, evil-aligned magic user with vast powers. She does have vast powers. And she has a lot of spells named after her. She has her own spells. The Tasha Tornado. Yes. Like Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which Tasha's Terror is the call of the printed tile that's in her book. Hideous Laughter doesn't sound that bad. Its components are tiny tarts, a feather that is waved in the air. So basically Hermione. Leviosa, not Leviosa. A creature of your choice that can see within range, perceives everything as hilariously funny, and falls into fits of laughter if the spell affects it. A creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less is not affected. What YouTuber in the LEGO space has less than a 4 intelligence? Same answer as previously? No comment. I think she has a book. Hold on. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything? A Cauldron of Everything? Kind of like Hermione's Bag of Holding, so just the same character. Yeah, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. That's literally what it's called. Whole book. She looks like a pretty witch in that picture. She does look like a pretty, it's actually like a pretty accurate, LEGO had to base it on something, and that's what they based it on. Wait, how many belts is she wearing on the cover? 1, 2, at least 3. She's actually wearing multiple belts on the cover. Yeah. Okay, we found the source material. It's the same illustration. Easy. Well, apparently LEGO designers do as much research as a single Google search and clicking on the top result. I think the overall impression as we've gone through all of these characters is that this is a fantastic series of CMFs for people who like the subject matter or don't. It's very good. And you can switch out the heads if you want. You make your own characters. An Aarakocra Bard. You can have Aarakocra Bard. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going to keep my figures as God and Wizards of the Coast intended. The last thing I had on my list, you said that you used to have a crew, a clan, a team that you could play D&D with, and you've since lost that. Do you want to take this opportunity to petition for a new team? Josh. This could be a crossover video. It could not just be LEGO boys out there. There are fantasy. There are plenty of LEGO boys and girls who are playing right now, and I've had a long history with the friends I played with, and it was more than just playing D&D. Playing D&D in person is so much different than playing it online. And it's really something special. So if you do have the chance to do it, I highly encourage anyone who is intimidated by it all being in your mind to at least start watching content on it, or getting involved if you're really interested, because it's such a fun game and you can really make some lifetime friends through it. But I am up to date. I've got the new player's handbook. You've got the new books, so I only half believe you. I'm not out of the loop, and I know how to make a new character, but right now I will stay in my D&D retirement. Well, you heard it here first. A new LEGO content creator D&D crew has been formed, and we have our Tiefling Sorcerer or Warlock? Which one was it? Warlock. Okay, we have our Tiefling Warlock of the party, and stay tuned for other species and class announcements coming soon. It's going to be exciting. I think it's about time for us to get rolling.